Hello, my name is Kamali Powell, and I'm the Executive Director of Rainbow Railroad. And thanks so much for coming to this webinar. There's been a lot of activity happening in the past few weeks, and so we thought that it would be useful to have a conversation with you, give you an update on what we're doing in Chechnya and beyond, and answer any questions you may have. You'll see on your screen that there's a little section where you can write a question. I'll be keeping track of questions as we go and try to get to them, as many of them as possible. But first, I thought I'd give you an overview of, for those of you new to the organization, give you a quick overview of who we are, what we're doing in Chechnya, and what we're doing for LGBTQ people who need our help abroad. So Rainbow Railroad has been doing this work for over 10 years. We are a Canadian-based organization doing this international work, and we've already been dramatically increasing the amount of people we've been able to help internationally all year. In 2016, we moved 81 people from all over the world to places of safety, and this year alone, we've already started to move over 50 individuals, have approved funding for another 20 more, with a goal of reaching 100 people by the end of this year, which a goal that we are well on the way to surpassing. And so when the situation in Chechnya hit, we work in regions all over the world, and we immediately reached out to our partners to figure out how can we support the Russian LGBT network. I began immediate correspondence with individuals at the Russian LGBT network to figure out how we could help individuals who need our help moving to safety. So let me give you a little bit of an update of what actually is happening in Chechnya. Currently, there are about 200 individuals who are being held in these camps. There are about 4 of them or more that have been reported, and they're in detention at these camps. Unfortunately, we do not have the capacity to reach out and help those individuals. That's a larger question for diplomacy in all over the world. You might have heard the German Chancellor call out Putin directly on this matter, and so we are certainly hoping that our Canadian government will act on that diplomatically. What we can do and what we are doing is supporting individuals who have fled Chechnya, who are at risk of being detained, and who have been moved into these safe houses in Russia. There are 4 safe houses in St. Petersburg and Moscow that we have, where safe houses have been created by the Russian LGBT network, and there are 37 people housed in those safe houses as we speak, expecting at least another 40 more in the coming weeks. We know that there are 32 of those individuals who wish to leave Russia out to a country outside of Russia. And that's where we come in. We are partnering directly with the Russian LGBT network to find pathways to safety for those individuals. And what that means is providing direct travel, supporting those individuals to travel, and connecting them with an organization on the ground for resettlement. You have to understand that the people who are in these safe houses were not, who have not chose to leave Chechnya. They were forced to migrate. And so right now, this is a very traumatic time for those individuals. They are still recuperating from this experience. The Russian LGBT network has been giving them psychological support to their capacity. And right now, these individuals are really thinking about their next steps. In some cases, a lot of these individuals came with their families because their families have also been at risk. One case that we're working on right now was a family of 6 who are trying to decide their next steps. So right now, we are identifying and doing needs assessment and verification of all those 37 cases. We were able to quickly identify 2 individuals who were ready to travel and brought them to safe haven. And we will continue to do that for the rest of the 30 or so individuals that wish to travel. Part of this ask and part of this work is trying to assess what the Canadian government can do to help individuals who require or who are interested in coming to Canada. And so 2 weeks ago, we made a specific demand of the Canadian government to help issue what we are calling emergency visas for individuals coming into Canada. Now, there's no such thing as an emergency visa to enter the country. There is a facilitation visa, a number of different mechanisms in which people can enter into Canada, but our requirement or demand of the government allowed us to initiate a dialogue with Global Affairs Canada and the immigration minister to see what can Canada actually do to support Chechens who have escaped to Russia and are interested in coming to Canada. That process started in earnest about 2 weeks ago with good conversations with Global Affairs Canada, and I'm pleased to report that it looks likely that the Canadian government will act. However, I made 3 demands of the government in any response to the situation in Chechnya. One, that the Canadian government facilitate a refugee process for individuals coming into Canada, that they provide resources for people coming to Canada and sufficient settlement support, and that third, that this conversation is not limited to just the individuals in Chechnya. We are really heartened by the international support and the donations that have come in response to the specific crisis. But just this past week, we've already moved 3 other individuals from other regions of the world as well, and we can't leave those individuals behind. So any response from the government must be a robust, comprehensive policy to support LGBTQI individuals all over the world. So we are continuing this work as we speak, or the conversations are happening as we speak. We are preparing the next group of individuals to travel. Myself and a delegation are hoping to get to the region to do needs assessment directly, and this work continues, and it continues because of your support. So that's a very quick update. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, and we'll certainly keep you posted as we have new developments. So I'm currently not seeing any questions, so I guess that's a good thing. I'll hold on for another couple of minutes to see if there are questions. If not, we will wrap up this quick webinar and be in touch soon for any other updates. Okay, great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to hear this webinar. We will be keeping you posted with any new developments. We really, really appreciate your support and the community's support, and we'll be in touch very soon. Have a great afternoon.